Hey guys, Brian here from Better Chess Training, and today I'm sharing a live game that I played on my stream, and I played FIDE Master, Viktor Haarmark Neilsen, who challenged me, and then I had the honor and opportunity to do some analysis with him afterwards. So I have just edited out some of the transition points and stuff, but here's the game with my commentary as well as our analysis with FIDE Master Neilsen. Enjoy. Hey guys, just a little reminder. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. In fact, go ahead and hit it now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and don't forget to turn on the notifications with this little bell so you can see when my future videos come out. Okay, enjoy the video. Good luck. It just depends. You know what? I'm going to try to play my best, so I'd appreciate you do the same, even if I blunder and you end up beating me up, which I actually don't mind losing. I really appreciate playing stronger players, so I appreciate you coming on board here. Um, and I am going to comment a little on my moves here, but I don't think you'll mind that, I guess. Okay, so it looks like Roy Lopez. A lot of ways we can go from here. Um, and so for the rest of you, my opponent is, at least it looks like he is a FIDE master. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. So far, we're still in book. Not that I know all of the theory here, but so far so good. Okay, bishop to b3. Standard so far, and here we have d6. And here I could play h3, but I think c3 is the normal move here. Okay, and now I can play h3, just preventing this bishop from coming to g4. So okay, bishop to a5, and I'm just gonna drop my bishop back. Okay, here d5. Now, does it make sense for me to, let's see here. Um, this, on the surface, it looks good for me because I'm taking on d5, and maybe, and if he takes back with the knight, for example, well, he could take back with the queen, but still, I've got enough, it seems. But maybe I miss. I think this is something where I have to ignore my opponent's rating. I think I have to take on d5, right? Is there anything else I would do? What kind of attack is coming here, though? I mean, is he going to... let's see. Let's do a little bit of... E takes d5. I shouldn't spend too much time on this, but e takes d5. And then if knight takes d5, then what am I doing? I mean, this knight's... let's just take it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. So let's see. I am in Zen mode, but if I take it off of Zen mode, you can see here my opponent is rated a couple hundred points higher than me, and it says that he's a FIDE master. So here, what am I missing? What am I missing? Because it looks like I'm just winning a pawn. Don't tell me though. Don't tell me though. So we got Eyelashes, another very strong player in the chat. Thank you for coming and watching. I really enjoyed it. You beat me up the other day, but I actually learned a lot from that game. I analyzed that a little bit with my coach. Quite a bit, actually, with my coach afterwards. I learned a lot about how I should play you next time. But, well, I guess, maybe the idea here is that after bishop takes e4, we get bishop to b7. And then there's this idea of this pin. So I can't, he's going to take this pawn back. Or even better, bishop takes e4, knight takes e4, rook takes e4, and then I mean, can I get away with something like... So, if I take on e4, knight takes e4, rook takes e4, and I guess I don't see where I'm in a ton of trouble. From there, bishop to f5. Couldn't I just drop back my... just drop back here. I mean, at that point, he's got the two bishops. I guess that's sort of the idea. Bishop takes e4, knight takes e5, d5. And then I could just take it because this bishop here would be hanging at that point. Bishop takes e4, bishop to b7, and maybe there do I just give back the pawn and just drop my, bishop back, for example. So I think it's safe to take. I'm giving up the two bishops, but I'm getting another pawn. I'm going to give a pawn back, I think, but a pawn is a pawn. So let's see. This is a rapid game, so... Yeah, no, and I saw your Twitter, our discussion here. So here's the moment of truth. Hopefully I'm not blundering something big time. Okay, so bishop to b7. So I'm giving back a pawn, but I have a pawn. So where should my rook go? I mean, do I have an intermediate move here where I could play like queen to e2? Or queen to e1? And then... but then does that just force him to play something like bishop to d6? Yeah, no, I got crushed pretty well there. But analyzing it, I missed a lot of opportunities too. There were no real winning opportunities, but chances to avoid losing. Okay, so question here. I'm going to give back this pawn, but what's the best way to do it? Now I'm behind in development, so that's an issue. So he sacrificed this pawn for the development. And I'm afraid of... I feel like I should really just get back to... just drop this rook back. And then if he takes the pawn, go about my business and try to get my pieces out with moves like maybe d4 and then get my bishop out, for example. So... I guess this is one of those situations where, can I try to go for more? I don't think I should, on principle, because I'm really behind in development now. So, okay, let's just drop it back to e1. And I'm using up a lot of time, so I need to get out here. And this is probably something that my opponent maybe knows. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. No, probably not, right? Probably not, but... we will see here. I think I just have to remain calm here. Okay, so there are some threats here. If he takes on... let's see. Well, there are some tactics here. If I play d4, and then he takes... he's threatening this... bishop takes f3, but I still think I'm okay there. I develop my bishop, and if he takes, worst case, I can take with yeah, I think I just need to get my... Now, yeah, I think I need to take here. Or I think I need to play d4. Now, that does leave the c4. I mean, is there any reason I should play d3? I'm not sure, because then the d3 becomes a target too. So... okay. Well, now we got some pressure here on my... feel I need to take some time to be careful here. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I just need to continue my development, I feel. What about a move like rook to e5? Just kind of kicking this guy out. And then I could follow up with maybe a queen move. Or should I just play a more reserved bishop to f4? And really just try to get my development going. I think that might be the way. Well, let's see. Rook to e5, and then say queen to e7. Then bishop to f4. I mean, is that okay? I think that might be okay. But let's, you know what, let's keep developing here. I don't want to, I'm spending a lot of time on these early moves, and I probably shouldn't. So, okay, c5 coming. That's, I think I could just ignore it. If I take it, you could take with the bishop. That would be probably bad for me. So, although if he takes, I have to take back with the pawn or the queen. Could do something like rook to e5, and then pushes queen back, say to c6. Does that do anything? How about bishop to e5? Does that do anything? See, f6, he just kicks it, and then he just takes it. Let's see. I do want to... Taking it seems like it's a bad idea. I mean, I could do something like bishop to e3, which just seems very passive. And I should have played that in a move before if I was going to play it. Okay. If I take, you know, I could just give back the pawn, and I think the game's okay, but... oh, what to do? Knight to d2, c takes d4, c takes d4. He plays rook to d8. Then I could play here with knight to f1. Still a problem here with my checkmate issues. So, but I think that completes my development. My back rank's a little safer, and that's something to be happy about. Okay, he takes, and I take. I have to take back with the pawn because of the checkmate threat. So I have an extra pawn, but it's this weak, isolated pawn. But now my rooks are free here a little bit, and so maybe my game's okay here. I don't think I'm winning, but I think he has different compensation for the pawn. But whether it's enough, we will see as the game continues. he's used about a minute on his clock, and I've used up about half of my time. So it is tough. Maybe, I don't know. Am I feeling intimidated? Maybe I feel like if I were playing someone who were rated the same level or below, I would just maybe I wouldn't find it as nerve wracking. Like here, I feel like, oh, he's got to have compensation for the pawn, and he does. Look at this development, and he's got this threat here. I mean, it's very annoying for me to relieve that. Pretty much means this knight is stuck here for a while. But I've got some ideas too to help. I could do something like this maybe. Kind of annoy him. This doesn't seem right, but maybe there's something like that going on that I could do. I mean, the basic strategic considerations. He's got these two bishops now in this nice open position. He could eventually do stuff like this. He can maybe continue his attack here on d4. In which case, I'm actually thinking something like this might be interesting. Because then my queen and my knight protected. And as long as if this queen leaves this diagonal, then my knight is free to defend as well. So I guess I'm wondering what so I think black is going to want to just continue to put pressure on this pawn. Okay, so now with h6, maybe he's thinking about this. Then I have to make a decision there. Let's see here. On that, what do I want to do? What would help me to kind of alleviate this? The difference between this and, say, the IQP positions is that first I'm a pawn up, so there's no, like, this advance of the pawn isn't as, it doesn't have ramifications necessarily of breaking up a pawn structure or something like that, which is... Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Knight to e4. And then that way I have an option of going either of these directions. If he plays g5, then I have to drop my... What it does is it forces me to drop my bishop back this way. So I have to decide, is it really useful there, or should I move elsewhere and have it defending d4 instead? Because that's actually, could be very important too. So let's see here. It also could have been preventing me from playing there, so I'm not sure if he's thinking of going g4. That might not be a consideration he's even making. So, but in any case, let's see here. Oh, well. You know what? Let's go knight to f1, because I still have this option and this option, and that might be a little more flexible with things. And that way, too, because now I am a little concerned about this d4 pawn. Okay. Queen to f4. Well, so now a couple ways to look at this. If I drop my pawn back, or my bishop back, it's restricting this guy, but it's kind of keeping an eye over here too, which I don't know if that's really a big deal. But and then what's he going to do with this knight? This knight's coming to c4 at some point, I'm guessing. That could be the idea. Bishop to e3, knight to c4. But again, what I'm thinking here too is bishop e3, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, queen takes f3, g takes f3, which actually I think is okay because it's actually kind of, my pawns are a little messed up, but at least they are, protected somewhat. Now I could play bishop to e5 here. Actually, that's kind of interesting. And then does he have an idea here? He could still play this bishop takes f3 idea. So my pawn structure, I don't think there's a way. The only thing I'm thinking about is what if I played something like queen to d2? But I think that just invites knight to c4. If I play queen to c1 with the same idea of protecting this bishop, then rook to c8. So let's see here. Okay. Let's do this. Maybe not exactly what I would want to do, but maybe what I have to do at this point. Oh, hey there, Bijoy. How are you? Hope you're doing well. We played last time as well, and welcome to everyone else who's recently joined us. Playing against he's Haarmark in the chat, but it looks like he's a FIDE master. Actually, I'm gonna click on your profile here and see if it says who you are. Viktor Neilsen, Haarmark Neilsen. So you're actually about 500 ratings points higher than me. Okay, I think I just have to take back with the queen here and then suffer a little bit. So we've got this position where all of my pawns are isolated and or doubled. So it's fairly unpleasant, but I have a pawn up, so a pawn is a pawn, so that make up for some of it. So we're going into to an endgame where maybe my position is not so great. But we will try to make the most out of this position, okay? And to some extent, I've he's gotten rid of his two bishops in order to do that, which is nice. And okay, in this position, I think okay, so he's gonna bring one of his rooks over to the d file most likely. So I'm thinking we can just play this. Maybe look at something like this. So I'm actually feeling okay here. Yeah. Like I said, I think I'm okay here now, but obviously he has some positional compensation for the this exchange here. Now, question I have for myself is I want to defend this, but which rook or the knight? I feel the knight. I feel like I need to use it
more offensively or more proactively, not just defensively. So if I bring this rook over, the knight to so what I'm thinking is bring this rook over. Knight to c4 is problematic. Um, if I bring this rook over, then knight to c4 isn't as big of a deal. Um, I could play maybe b3 next. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm expecting. So knight to c4 is an idea, b3, but that's not really so problematic. He might want to double up on. Yeah, no, the weaknesses aren't as pronounced, but definitely it gives compensation and targets, especially if you imagine the light square or the minor pieces all being traded off. These rooks are going to be tied to the defense here. Okay, now I see my problem is that the well, it's okay. I'm giving the pawn back basically. Um, is there an in between move I can play that might be nice? Okay. Um. Well, this is being attacked too. So if I take, he takes this rook first. I take back with the rook, and then he takes with this rook. So then that's problematic. I could play some. What if I play b3 here, and then he takes? I take his rook first, but then he gets this in between move, I guess, which isn't so great. Actually, you know what? I think this is okay. Is this okay? Takes with the rook. Then I would take here. No, so he takes my rook here. I take back here. He takes here. I think. Okay, we've got a minute left on my clock. So, okay. So I need to play quickly here. There. And let's go here. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think this endgame is even basically because these this pawn weakness I feel doesn't really. I can defend it here, and I actually can maybe get my rook active shortly too. Maybe right now the best would be to rook to d4, and then I have to do this and trade down. So, and if he wants to keep the rooks on the board, I don't think it's necessarily advantageous for him. So I think this is pretty even. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, please don't comment or give me move suggestions. I guess that's the only thing you can talk about what we're playing here. But let's try to avoid that. Okay. So after this game, we're going to analyze it a little. We're going to take a look at a few of the key positions. And no, I actually think this position's even, especially if he trades off the rooks. If he maybe can outplay me if he keeps the rooks on, but hopefully I can find a way to get some activity. You know, this knight is just looking to to get open, get out and about. So let's say he hits me with this check, king to g2, and maybe he wants to get behind this pawn or something like that. But really, um, he has to be careful too, because I can hit him with the check, and after king to g7, go after his pawn. And so it it could be problematic if he tries to keep the rooks on. Yeah, the double pawns on f2. The problem is that he doesn't really have a enough firepower, I think, to attack, and I can defend it with just my king. So the doubled pawns in this case are not great, but not really enough for him to say that he's winning, if that makes sense. Now, if we were in the middle game and he can find ways to attack it or attack on these open lines, attack my h3 pawn, that's different. But I think in this current state, the end game is probably drawn. So I think he's just deciding if whether or not he wants to try to keep the rooks on, keep some dynamism in the game. But I think the more logical way, well, I actually don't know, we'll see, is if he takes on e2, and then we have the knights here. So but no, I'm very appreciative that he's playing me here. Sometimes, it just I know there's different, actually several strong players in the chat as well as newer players, and you always I'm always looking to play players that are stronger when possible. Okay, so we're going to trade off here, and that's that. And here, what is the idea? Obviously, he's going to go for something like this. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. And what I want to do here is actually, let's see. Well, I think what I want to do is play this, and then get my king active here. Oh, bad arrows here. Get my king active here. Now, if he goes here, I go here, and then if he goes here, I go here. Okay, so I think we're okay there. But yeah, I think he had to trade rooks because I think his pawns are just as vulnerable as mine in that situation. Now, this is where the knight can be annoying because if it can get, it can blockade here, for example, or he could bring his king around. This pawn can be weak also. So it's not that the double pawns are not a liability at all, but I think I have enough to defend them. So let's see what happens here. Okay. I'm low on time, so I would have maybe wanted to calculate a little more, but needless to say, I think we're okay. So we're in the end game. We're both bringing our kings towards the center, and here I'm trying to just see what my opponent is thinking about here. I think king to e4 seems most logical. He's trying to get around here, but I think I can just, yeah, so maybe I can just do, I think I need to prevent. Now, I can play a5 here, maybe. And then, no, so I think I have to play a3. So it could be that he's going to be poking in here, say with something like this. Well, I can't do it yet. No, we can't do it yet because of this fork. So we're actually, I think we're okay here. Okay. Now, what is the key here? Is let's see. I think I need a tempo. So let's go. If he goes here, then I just push. If he goes here, I push him with check. But if he goes here, I go here. I think we're okay. So I'm playing this just to take a tempo and see what he's going to do. I think he can't really do much. Now, see, there's no entry points here, so I can't really do anything over there. Oh, hey, Neil. Yeah, no, I got to move quickly. So I'm probably going to lose just because I'll probably make a mistake in time trouble. But we are playing FIDE Master today, Viktor Haarmark Neilsen. And obviously stronger player than myself, but it's I really cherish the opportunity. We'll say. Okay, now here he's moving a knight, so I'm thinking that can I make a move myself like this? Just trying to prevent him from getting in. Now he could do something like this, but I don't know if that really does anything, to tell you the truth. Okay, so if we I think, oh, I see what he's doing. So the problem here I have is that now he gets to enter position, but can I hit him with this? Let's see. Let me hit him with this check first. I don't know if this does anything actually. Could be losing this pawn here. Okay. So here, I think I have to take, and then he takes there. And now my problem is I lose this pawn. But can we? Is there anything we can do here? Yeah, I'm probably going to end up losing this in. Probably a case where I'm losing this in time trouble. So let's just blitz this out here. Let's see here. Here. Maybe I should have hit him with a check, because now we can just advance this pawn. Trying to think, is there any way I can get back here? Okay. Okay, here. Okay. So here, this is pretty much lost. I don't think I can get it here. So I'm going to actually resign. Good game. Good game. And so the first move where I was, this is, when you played d5 is my first point where I had some trouble here.
So this is the Kiyoshi Gambit, which was invented in 2007.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, no, this is great.
Normally you go c5.
Okay. So what's the? Do I pretty much have to take on d5?
So the best line is d4 because it opens up a position and the black pieces are not really developed. They are a5 and c8 and a8.
Oh, okay. So wait, d4 here? Is that the spot? Now there is a little delay between Viktor's hearing me and so if that's going to be something, but I think this is some great analysis. Oh, okay. Could you move the line? Maybe show a couple of the main line here. You can move the pieces here, I believe. So
So I think after d4, black can either take on e4 the pawn or the knight.
Okay. Okay. Like that? And then what? This? Will we do this? Or this, maybe?
Yeah. This is slightly better for white.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Because it's not so easy to get the bishop pair.
Right.
But the fun line is after, and the theory goes on after d4. But the fun line is after e takes d5.
Okay, let's go. Okay. Like this. So this is what happened in the
Knight
game.
takes, no, knight e4. Knight e takes d5, e4, knight g5.
Oh, knight to g5. Okay.
And knight takes d5. Knight takes e4.
Okay.
f5.
Oh boy.
And knight g3. And f4. And knight e4 and f3.
Oh.
So this is what you hope for with black. But
because
it's not very often you get it.
Yeah, this is pretty messy. Let's see. Well, so after g4, is it just bishop takes h3? Or what if I play g3 here in this position?
There you go. The main line is knight g3. And then fg2, I think d4. I can just take on h3.
Okay.
After g3, we can go bishop takes h3.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, you can move the pieces too, Victor. I think you can. I think I set it up so you can move them as well. And then it stays on the position that we're at. So, yeah, this looks really bad.
No, I cannot move the pieces. I have tried.
Oh, did you? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why. Let's see.
Maybe if I took this on.
Let me see if let me just mess with the settings real quick.
It's complicated. It's not bad.
Okay, but, there you're okay. So I can see the pieces you're moving.
So
okay,
what you did is sensible, but I think black is fine.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Well, that's what I said on the stream.
What happened in the game was I got the bishop pair, but you got, of course, 2 extra pawns or 1 extra pawn. I will win the d5 pawn.
Yeah. Hold on one sec. Can everyone hear the Victor on the
You don't
Discord?
have to go Ruby 1 immediately. You can go d4, but probably doesn't change anything.
Okay. And so here I felt, you definitely have like an initiative. I mean, I've got a pawn, but you definitely have plenty of compensation, I think.
Yeah, I was out theory here after 92.
Okay. Oh, out here at this point? Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I felt taking on c5
pretty much sums it up.
Is taking on c5 actually that bad for me because I have b4 after, or is that not like for example here if I take on c5, and then if you take here.
Taking on c5 is the main line, and I have to go. No, b4 doesn't work because of queen f5.
Oh, okay. Well,
queen takes.
Yeah. Oh, queen takes. Queen takes here. Is that the point?
Queen takes c5.
Oh.
Black will go queen takes c5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I see. And then what about b4 here? Oh, then queen to f4 or f5.
And then queen f5 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay, and then black can play knight to c4 maybe. Okay. Okay, well, let's see what happened in the game. This is some interesting stuff. Yeah, so I'm definitely.
But I guess you don't have to go b4 after queen takes c5. You can probably go, I don't know, knight d2.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go there.
Yeah, knight to d2 here, and then rook maybe rook to d8 maybe.
So after c takes d4, I didn't know what to do, but I couldn't see a good move for you either.
Right.
So I just played a waiting move. I played h6, but maybe rook c8 makes more sense. I cannot go rook a8 because of bishop c7.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, so you guys could see I missed quite a bit in myself, but yeah, I agree. I was having trouble coming up with a concrete plan at this point myself, but I didn't think I was worse because I have this extra pawn, and I felt like worst case scenario if I couldn't find anything that giving back the pawn wasn't the end of the world. So yeah, h6. So really, you weren't even thinking of g5 at all. You were just making a waiting move. So g5 was not really a plan at all in your thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to find a good way to give back the pawn.
Right. Okay.
No, I could play t5 immediately if I wanted to. My queen also protects.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so because I can't sacrifice there or anything. So, okay. Well, let's keep going here. So I played knight to f1, and then you played. So yeah, queen to f5.
But it's not like my compensation is the attack. My compensation is that I have control of the center, so I'm not going to play t5 and wake my king.
Right, and also
knight
your
f1 and queen f5.
And I think I have to. I can't.
I thought you would play bishop g3.
Yeah, I guess I was looking.
Then your knight can go to e3, and maybe you can go d5 in the endgame.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, that would have been interesting. I kind of thought about that. The e3 would be good there because here I knew that it was not. I'm not sure why. I guess I felt like the bishop I wanted to be protecting e4, but I should have been thinking of ways to advance it as well. So very cool. Okay. By the way, if anyone's just joining us here, I'm here with FIDE Master Viktor Haarmark Neilsen. We just played a game, and which he won. Although I did think I had some drawing chances.
What happened in the game? G3, takes.
Yep.
Takes,
and I think, I think I'm kind of okay here. I think if I played rook fd1, then you play knight to c4. Is that? If I play here, then you do this. Does that sound? That looked bad for me. So.
Oh. Yeah, that double. I didn't see that the b3 bishop is hanging too.
Yeah. So. Here, that's why I played this, but then I didn't realize you could just take because this rook was hanging. But then I thought it was just okay after that. Knight to e4. Oh, instead of so eyelashes is saying I have to play knight to e4.
Yeah, probably. I think black is better here. It's not. I'm not sure it's winning.
Okay.
And I definitely missed that you had rook e2. I just thought I was winning after b3.
Yeah, I thought you were at first, but then I'm like, I could just defend with. Well, the thing with knight to e4 here, you could just play f5, and then play rook to d2. But I guess I'd just be forced to play back to. I'd just be forced to go back to g3, I think. So what did I play here? I played b3, which I thought that was a decent idea because your knight on c4, I thought would be, c4 and then could go to e5 at some point. I thought that would.
I think Eyelash is thinking about. No, never mind. So yeah, I don't know what to do. Probably maybe king f8 is not so stupid.
Just you're gonna have to play that anyway.
I want to advance my king somewhere.
Yeah.
So e3.
Yeah. Actually, eyelashes gives suggest over here, instead of rook to d1, playing knight to e4 here. Let me just see. So bishop takes, rook takes, and then what about this position now? Maybe it's similar.
But what about bishop takes d4? Oh, knight f6 in the end. Oh shit. Bishop takes, knight f6. That makes sense.
Yeah. So,
do
you think that was better maybe than rook to d1?
Yeah, knight d4 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, it basically is forcing this trade, right?
But, yeah, so I have to go bishop e7.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's probably slightly better of a way.
You can't take it, can you? Because I just do that. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, so bishop to e7 you'd have to play. Then what? I maybe play rook to c1, or maybe b3 here. Or no, maybe, yeah. So this looks, that looks pretty good. So thank you, eyelashes. Let's let's go back to the game. But this is great stuff.
So rook c1 or whatever. I can go knight c4 or something.
Yeah.
It's much better for white. Much better for white.
Okay.
Than what we got in the game.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go back. Here. I felt here you kind of
instead of rook d2, I should probably go king f8.
Yeah.
But in the end game, I don't think the knight endgame is so easy for you.
No. Yeah.
Because I have a very clear plan of just wandering with my king.
And that's kind of what you did. You just brought your king over, and then it forced me to make concessions over there and lose a pawn. And in the meantime, these are always going to be weak. Yeah, so I guess you're, at first sight, if I had to choose, I'd probably want to trade the knights instead of the rooks, if I could have. And yeah, here, I think later, my knight to c3 is incorrect, I think.
Yeah, all rook games are drawn. Unless you lose a pawn for it.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, it's not so easy to find a plan after a5. I think that is pretty much forced.
Okay. And then
knight c3 is definitely a blunder. But, okay, what to do?
Yeah. So after you play a5, I mean, do I... it's tough because if I play something like knight to c1...
So what about f5? F5 looks really stupid. But the point is to play f6.
Oh, okay.
And coming with a king.
Okay.
And if I play f6, you can go knight g3 and knight h5, simply to try to get some counterplay.
Right. Yeah, so something... so what would you play here if I played f5 then? So, because now something like knight to e7, I just go f6. And then that looks...
Or maybe knight f4, because if I go... So...
Oh, here? It just
maybe. You can also try to...
Okay.
No, not... Okay, maybe not after knight e7. But... knight e7...
no, this is...
maybe knight f4?
It's sort of coaching, but we don't.
Maybe knight f4, just...
coaching. Yeah, sorry, just in the chat, Arc Pro asks, is this coaching? Well, we're analyzing together. We played a game together.
It's not so easy to advance the black king, so...
Okay.
Maybe knight g8.
Where in this?
What is this?
Oh, knight d8. And that kind of freezes his pawn a little bit because
knight e7, knight f4, knight g8.
Oh, knight g8. I'm sorry.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Knight h5. I wanted to see if this endgame is winning.
Yeah. Well, here
probably
though. Oh yeah, it's a knight. Yeah. Well, I think I have more tempos than you do, though. So here, couldn't I just play? Let's see.
But I don't know.
F3.
So I think it's Zugzwang.
Yeah.
But you have more waiting moves.
Yeah. So, but you have more waiting moves?
You play H4 or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, so
Okay,
H4.
so H5, H4. I wanted to play King C6, King D4. You go F4.
Yeah. And then
I
no
don't
matter what
know.
you do, I can choose what to do. But then,
King
do I have an entry
C6.
point? Yeah, because then I don't know if I have an entry point.
And it's
Well,
important of
then
you to
here.
go maybe A4. Yeah, A4 is
A4.
important.
And then maybe it's
Yeah, it's a draw.
Draw
It's
here,
a draw. It
yeah,
should also
because
be a draw.
yeah. So just so everyone sees, yeah, we don't have to. Yeah, that's a draw right there. Okay.
Maybe if I go A4. Maybe if I go A4 here at move 40. Take, King D3, King D5.
Oh, this gets kind of interesting.
Would it? No, I'm probably
Now,
way too late for this. Yeah.
Just a move late, right?
This is bad. This is really bad.
Oh,
wait, no,
you
it's
can't
not.
do. No, you can't.
Wait. Okay. So the king goes here. The king goes here. Very important. Very important difference.
And then this is a draw, probably.
And I don't know what happens here.
No,
Probably
I
a
can
draw,
do
but it's very hard to
this.
play
I can
white.
hit you with this check here. What about this? Because you can't take this pawn, because then I go back.
For queen f7. It would be very optimistic to say black is winning here. So it's a draw.
Yeah, that's an interesting position, though. Yeah,
Let's go back. Yeah, but that's not much more white. So f5, try to, like, your advantage is on the king side, not because you have an advantage, but because you're definitely at disadvantage on the queen side. So you have to play there. So just play on the queen side, I win.
Right, and that's what happened, basically.
Maybe king d3 is also a draw, I don't know. So then I go king d4.
Well, here, yeah, if you play here, then I do this, maybe? Let's see, so,
No, knight c3, and I have to go back.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Probably, so would that be a draw, probably? Because you can't really make progress without losing a pawn there. So this is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. Sorry. But okay, king d3, I will probably go knight e7 as in the game.
Okay.
And who knows? Maybe I can attack. I want to attack your pawns so they advance.
Right.
And then they block the position, and then I can maneuver my knight to the perfect square.
Right.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
So this is actually where, yeah, but this is sort of in my own endgame thinking where I was assuming it was more drawish, but in reality, it's much tougher for the player with the white pieces because of these doubled pawns on the king side, or the isolated and double pawn. They're all weak. So strategically, you have much better chances. Or I have to play much more accurately to even try to draw it. But
yeah, exactly. End games are not just drawn or not drawn; they are complicated, and you have to
that's a great
solve a lot of problems for white.
Yeah,
they can be solved, but it's very tough.
Well, this was a good game. At least I feel like at least I didn't blunder early, and then we'd just be analyzing what after move 15 what I did. So I really appreciate you challenging me today and analyzing with me. And yeah, you have to get a little better with Discord and the voice thing to make it a little smoother. But I think everyone in the audience today enjoy it.
You played very well. Only 90, so only after 93 I was winning.
Yeah, no, and this is something very very educational. I think I might, if it's okay with you, I might upload this to YouTube as well.